Okay, so let's talk about something pretty much everyone in Beaverton dreads. You're on the highway, you hear that little tick, and you see it. A crack spreading across your windshield.
It's the worst feeling.
It is, and the first question is always, how much is this going to set me back?
Right.
So today we're doing a deep dive into that. We've got data from the economics of windshield replacement, looking at local insights from collision auto glass and calibration to really break it down.
There's a lot to break down. I mean, the anxiety comes from that huge price range. You call for a quote, and the data shows a typical job in this area is anywhere from, what, $200 to $600?
That's a massive gap. So the mission here is to figure out why. Why does one person pay $200 and their neighbor pays $600 for, what looks like the same thing?
And it really isn't random. It's not just about shopping around.
No, the biggest factor is probably what's sitting in your driveway, right? If you're driving, say, a standard older sedan, you're looking at the low end of that.
Yeah, you're probably in that $200 range. Because in that case, the windshield is just a shield. It's physical protection.
It's a glass.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the second you get into an SUV, a truck, or any kind of luxury vehicle, the price starts to climb. And it's not just because there's more glass.
It's the complexity.
It's the complexity, the curves, the manufacturing process.
Yeah.
But even that isn't the real price multiplier.
This was the part of the research that I found just fascinating. We're not just replacing windows anymore. We're replacing, optical equipment.
This is the ADS factor, advanced driver assistance systems. If your car has a lane departure warning or automatic braking.
Rain sensor.
Rain sensors, yeah. Your windshield is effectively a lens for the car's eyes.
That makes so much sense. The cameras for all those systems are mounted right behind the glass, looking through it.
And that's why the glass itself costs more. The source material really drives this home. If that windshield has even a tiny microscopic imperfection, it can distort what the camera sees.
So you can't just slap a generic piece of glass on a car with ADS.
No, it has to be optical grade. Otherwise, the car's brain just gets, confused. And that leads to the next big cost.
The calibration, I think most people hear replacement and they just think of the physical swap. But a huge chunk of that bill is actually getting the car's computer to recognize the new glass.
It's an incredibly precise process. If that camera is off by a single millimeter, the car might think the lane marker is 2 feet to the left of where it actually is.
And suddenly your lane keep assist is trying to steer you into oncoming traffic.
Exactly. So those labor costs in the Portland area, they run about $100 to $200. That's not just for popping the old one out and gluing a new one in. You're paying for a highly skilled technician.
And speaking of labor, there's a safety detail in the data that I think it's completely overlooked. We talk about the sensors, but the windshield itself is a structural component.
A huge one. In a rollover crash, the windshield provides a massive percentage of the roof's strength. It stops it from caving in.
And it's the backstop for the passenger airbag. I read that the airbag actually deploys off the glass to protect the passenger. Is that right?
It does. And if that adhesive isn't cured perfectly, or if the frame wasn't prepped right, which is what you risk with cheap, rushed labor, the whole windshield can just pop out on impact.
And then the airbag has nothing to push against. It just fails.
It completely fails.
So trying to cut corners on that $100 labor fee is actually a massive safety gamble.
It really is. But the report did have some good news. A silver lining for your wallet anyway.
Right. If you're in Oregon, you need to check your insurance policy.
Yeah, the source points out that a lot of comprehensive policies here in Oregon will cover glass replacement with a $0 deductible.
Which just changes the whole equation, doesn't it? That $600 bill could effectively become zero out of pocket. It turns a financial crisis into, just an annoying errand.
And given all the safety issues we just talked about, the structural integrity, the sensor calibration, it's really not something you want to delay fixing.
So, to sum it up, the days of a $50 windshield fix are long gone. The real cost driver isn't the glass, it's the computer your car has become.
We're definitely safer on the road for it, but the repairs are absolutely more complex.
Well, a huge thanks to the data from Collision Auto Glass and Calibration for helping us decode what's happening in the local market. It really makes you look at that sheet of glass in a whole new way.
It's certainly more than just a wind blocker these days.
Yeah. And I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. We've established the windshield is a lens for cameras and a backstop for airbags. As we move toward fully autonomous cars that drive themselves, will the windshield eventually start being for the driver at all and exist solely for the car's sensors to see through? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.